What if the most important phone call of your life is one you have been missing every single day? The universe, the source of all abundance and opportunity, is constantly calling you, offering guidance, support, and the answers to your deepest prayers. The problem is, we have forgotten how to hear it. We are living in a world of cosmic static, our lines filled with the noise of fear, doubt, and distraction. We feel disconnected, unheard, and as though our heartfelt requests are being sent to a celestial voicemail box that is perpetually full. This guide is your personal manual for restoring that divine connection. It will teach you how to clear your signal, how to know the right number to dial for your specific desires, and most importantly, how to recognize and joyfully answer the call when the universe rings you back. Hello, universe. Making the connection and receiving your call. Written and published by Success Attraction Formula. Chapter 1. Getting a clear signal to connect. Imagine for a moment that you are lost in the heart of a vast, remote wilderness. Your survival depends on making a single, urgent, life-changing phone call to summon rescue. You pull out your satellite phone, a direct line to a source of infinite help, but as you look at the screen, you see only one flickering bar of service. You try to speak your location, to state your need, but your voice is constantly breaking up. The line is overwhelmed with a loud, crackling static, and you can barely hear if anyone has even answered on the other end. In this state of poor reception, a clear, successful, and life-saving connection is virtually impossible. This deeply frustrating scenario is a perfect metaphor for how most of us attempt to communicate our deepest desires to the universe. We try to send out our most important requests, our calls for greater wealth, for profound love, for vibrant health, for a life of purpose, from a place of profound inner chaos and contradiction. Our minds, the very source of the transmission, are a wilderness of conflicting beliefs. Our hearts are filled with the white noise and static of past hurts, past failures, and future fears. Our energetic signal, the very carrier wave of our intention, is constantly flickering between a moment of bright hope and a long period of gnawing doubt. We consciously ask for financial abundance, but our subconscious signal is simultaneously broadcasting a much more powerful frequency of unworthiness, a deep-seated belief that we do not deserve it. We yearn for a loving partnership, but our connection is hopelessly corrupted by a powerful fear of rejection, a static field generated by past heartbreaks. We are trying to make the most important call of our lives from a place with a terrible signal, and then we are left feeling alone, unheard, and wondering why rescue never seems to arrive. The transformative solution, the very first step in making a successful connection with the universe, is to understand that you do not need to shout your request louder. You simply need to move to a place where you have a clear, strong signal. Before you can effectively broadcast your desires outward, you must first do the essential inner work of cultivating a state of inner coherence. This is the art of becoming a clean, clear, and powerful transmitter. It is the process of intentionally silencing the internal static of your fears and limiting beliefs and aligning your thoughts, your feelings, and your core beliefs into a single, pure, and powerful frequency. Think of it like tuning a musical instrument before a grand performance. If the violin is out of tune, it does not matter how beautifully the violinist plays, the sound will be dissonant. Your mind, body, and spirit are your instrument. When they are in a state of coherence, when what you think, what you feel, and what you believe are all in perfect harmony, the signal you send out is no longer a weak, broken-up message. It becomes a powerful, focused, and resonant laser beam of intention that the universe can receive with perfect, unambiguous clarity. This initial, foundational work of clearing your own line is the most critical and most frequently overlooked step in the entire process of conscious creation. It is about becoming a pristine and powerful transmitter first, so that when you finally decide to make your call, the connection is instant, the message is understood, and the response is assured. The first principle in achieving this clear signal is learning to identify the static without judgment. The primary source of interference in your energetic broadcast is your vast collection of limiting beliefs and the endless stream of negative self-talk that flows from them. These are the familiar, nagging thoughts that tell you, You're not smart enough to do that. You'll never be successful like they are. Money is hard to come by, or good things just don't happen for people like me. For years, you have likely mistaken this mental static for the unchangeable truth of who you are. The key to clearing it is not to engage in a futile battle against it, but to become a calm, mindful observer of it. You must learn to recognize these thoughts as what they truly are: impersonal, pre-programmed, and often inherited bits of interference, not fundamental truths about your identity. The most effective practice for this is mindful labeling. Throughout your day, as you go about your life, begin to pay attention to the nature of your thoughts. Whenever you catch a limiting thought or hear that critical inner voice, you will not argue with it, resist it, or shame yourself for having it. You will simply and calmly label it in your mind: static detected, or that's an interference pattern. This simple act of impartial labeling creates a powerful psychological distance between you, the conscious you, and the thought itself. For example, you are considering starting a new business venture, and the immediate thought, "What if I fail and lose everything?" floods your mind with anxiety. Instead of letting that thought spiral you into fear, you pause, take a breath, and calmly label it static. This acknowledges the thought's presence without granting it any authority, power, or validity. It is like hearing a crackle on the phone line. You notice it, but you do not mistake it for the actual, important conversation you are trying to have. This practice, performed consistently, systematically weakens the hold these old programs have on you and begins to clear your line. Once you become adept at identifying the static, the second principle is to boost your core signal strength. Your core signal is your natural, inherent state of being, the frequency you were born with, which is one of peace, joy, connection, and love. All the static is just noise that has been layered on top of it over the years. To ensure your message gets through, you must consciously and deliberately amplify this core frequency until it is overwhelmingly more powerful than the interference. The most effective and accessible tool for this amplification is the cultivation of a powerful positive emotion, and the gateway to all positive emotions is gratitude. Gratitude is not just a polite social grace. It is a high-frequency energy that has the scientifically measurable power to recalibrate your entire nervous system and energetic field. The practice is to create a daily, signal-boosting ritual. Every morning, before you check your phone or engage with the outside world, dedicate 5 to 10 minutes to deliberately amplifying your gratitude. Do not just mentally list things you are grateful for. You must feel it in your body. For instance, instead of just thinking, "I'm grateful for my morning coffee," take the time to hold the warm mug in your hands. Inhale its rich aroma. Feel the comforting warmth as you take the first sip. Experience the moment with all your senses and allow a genuine feeling of deep appreciation to wash over you. Feel this gratitude for the simple miracle of your heart beating without any effort from you, for your lungs breathing the air, for the fact that you have another day of life ahead of you. This deep, embodied feeling of gratitude physically raises your core vibrational frequency. It is the energetic equivalent of turning up the power on your transmitter from a weak local station to a powerful international broadcast. When your core signal of gratitude is consistently strong, the random crackles of self-doubt and fear become insignificant and are easily drowned out by the power of your primary frequency. The third and final principle for getting a clear signal is the crucial act of grounding your connection. In electrical engineering, a powerful signal must be properly grounded to be stable and safe. An ungrounded signal is erratic and unreliable. In the same way, your energetic signal, your desire, needs to be grounded in the physical reality of your body. If your desires remain purely as abstract, intellectual thoughts in your head, your signal is ungrounded, weak, and unstable. You must learn to translate your desires from the realm of thought into the realm of tangible physical sensation. The practice for this is called somatic embodiment, which simply means embodying your desire. It involves asking yourself the critical question: how would the complete fulfillment of my desire feel, physically, in my body right now? For example, if your desire is for a deep sense of peace and confidence, you might close your eyes and discover that this feeling corresponds to a physical sensation of your shoulders relaxing and dropping, a feeling of warm, open space in your chest, and a slow, even breathing pattern. Once you identify this specific physical signature, you can practice generating it at will. Throughout your day, whenever you feel stressed or anxious, you can take a moment to consciously drop your shoulders, breathe into your chest, and physically recreate the somatic signature of your desire. By grounding your intention in a repeatable physical sensation, you are turning an abstract idea into a tangible, embodied reality. This makes your signal incredibly stable, coherent, and real, not just to your own nervous system, but to the universal field that is constantly reading and responding to your broadcast. You have now learned the foundational art of preparing for your call. You have learned how to move from a place of noisy, chaotic interference to a place of inner coherence, peace, and clarity. You have learned how to identify and quiet the static, how to amplify your core signal through gratitude, and how to ground your connection in your physical body. You are now standing in a place of perfect reception, holding a powerful transmitter, ready to make your most important call. But a clear line, however powerful, is useless if you do not know who you are trying to reach. What is the exact, specific phone number for the reality you wish to create? How do you move from a vague, hopeful wish to a precise, laser-focused, energetic address that the universe can locate and connect you with? Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 2. Knowing exactly who you are calling. Imagine you have a state-of-the-art smartphone with a perfect 5-bar signal and a crystal-clear connection. You have followed all the steps from the previous chapter to ensure there is absolutely no static on the line. You pick up the phone, your heart filled with intention, ready to make the most important call of your life. But then you are confronted with a critical, show-stopping problem. You do not have a phone number. You possess a powerful and sophisticated tool for communication, but you have no specific destination for your call. So you simply start talking into the phone, vaguely describing what you want, hoping that somehow, somewhere in the world, the right person will magically overhear your message and respond. This is precisely the predicament most people find themselves in, even after they have done significant work on their mindset. They have a general sense of what they want, but their desires lack the essential ingredient of specificity. They want more money, a good relationship, a better job, or to be successful. These vague and generic desires are the energetic equivalent of picking up the phone and dialing a random number, or worse, no number at all. They are like addressing a letter to someone somewhere on Earth and expecting it to be delivered. The universe, as a vast, intelligent, and infinitely responsive system, operates on the law of precision. It needs a specific energetic address, a unique phone number, in order to deliver a specific, tangible reality to you. When you send out a vague request, you will inevitably receive vague, inconsistent, or non-existent results. This is not because the universe is withholding, uncaring, or unable to answer your call. It is simply because your call has no clear destination, no specific endpoint to which the energy and resources can be directed. The transformative solution is to graduate from being a hopeful wisher to becoming a divine dispatcher. The job of a professional dispatcher is to gather precise information and provide clear, specific, and unambiguous coordinates for a destination, ensuring that help arrives at the right place at the right time. In the same way, your job as a conscious creator is to define your desire with such meticulous detail and crystalline clarity that it becomes a unique and unmistakable energetic address in the quantum field. You must get the exact phone number for the reality you wish to experience. This process of defining your desire with precision is not a trivial exercise in making a list. It is a profound and sacred act of creation. It is the act of taking the field of infinite potential and collapsing it into a single, focused, and highly probable outcome. When you move from a generic wish like, "I want to be happy," to a specific, detailed request, you are providing the universe with the exact coordinates it needs to connect you to that reality. This clarity is the force that transforms a faint, powerless hope into a focused, directed, powerful intention. And it is the absolute key to making a call that the universe can and most certainly will answer. The first step in discovering your unique energetic phone number is to define the what with multisensory precision. A vague desire is a weak, fuzzy signal. A detailed, sensory-rich desire is a powerful, high-definition broadcast. You must move your desire from an abstract, intellectual concept that exists only in your head into a tangible, experiential blueprint that you can feel with your entire being. The most effective practice for this is the 5 senses blueprint. Take one of your core desires and, like a master novelist, flesh it out with vivid detail using all 5 of your senses. For example, let's move beyond the vague and powerless desire for a successful business. What, specifically, does this successful business look like? Close your eyes and see your beautiful, well-lit office or workspace. See the happy, engaged faces of your employees. See the positive reviews and testimonials from your satisfied customers streaming in. What does it sound like? Can you hear the pleasant, productive hum of activity in your workplace? The sound of your phone ringing with new client inquiries? The sound of your own voice speaking with confidence and authority as a leader in your field? What does it smell like? The scent of fresh coffee brewing in the break room, a subtle, pleasant fragrance in the air? What does it feel like? The satisfying, solid feeling of a high-quality product you have created, the handshake with a new business partner, the deep sense of pride and accomplishment in your chest. By building this detailed, multi-sensory picture, you are doing something far more profound than just daydreaming. You are creating a specific and potent, energetic blueprint. You are giving the universe a detailed architectural plan for construction, not just a vague suggestion, making it infinitely easier for it to manifest. Once you have a crystal-clear blueprint of the what, the second and equally crucial step is to define the why with authentic, soul-level clarity. A phone number is just a meaningless string of digits until you know the name of the person to whom it belongs. The why is the soul of your request. It is the deep, resonant emotional core that gives your call its ultimate meaning and magnetic power. Very often, the physical thing or the external circumstance we think we want is merely a vehicle, a symbol for a deeper feeling or state of being that our soul truly craves. Uncovering this core emotional desire is essential for making the most powerful call possible. The practice for this is the core feeling inquiry. It is a simple but profound process of repeatedly asking yourself why. You want your specific desire, digging deeper each time until you strike the bedrock of your true motivation. Let's use the desire for a promotion to a management position as an example. Why do you want that promotion? To earn more money and have more responsibility. Why do you want more money and responsibility? To feel more secure and respected by my peers. Why do you want to feel secure and respected? So I can finally relax and feel confident in my own abilities and my value. Why do you want to feel confident? Because feeling confident makes me feel powerful, free, and at peace. The true call, then, is not really for a job title. The true call is for the feeling of powerful freedom and peace. Knowing this is a game changer. It means you can start cultivating that feeling now, which instantly makes you a more powerful, energetic match for the promotion itself. It also opens you up to receiving that core feeling through other channels you might not have even considered. Your call becomes infinitely more authentic and potent because you are now calling for the core experience, not just the external symbol. The third and final step in knowing who you are calling is the critical work of defining the who that you are becoming. When you make a phone call, you are not just defining the person you are attempting to reach. You are also implicitly identifying yourself as the caller. To successfully receive and sustain the reality you desire, you must become the person who is an energetic match for that reality. The universe, in its perfect wisdom, will not deliver $1 million business opportunity to someone who consistently maintains the habits, beliefs, and identity of a person who struggles with poverty. You must consciously architect your identity to match the destination of your call. The practice for this is called identity architecture. You must ask yourself a series of deep questions. Who is the version of me that already possesses what I am asking for? What are their non-negotiable daily habits? What are their core beliefs about themselves and the world? How do they carry themselves physically? How do they speak? How do they handle challenges and setbacks? You must then begin to consciously and deliberately embody that identity today, before the external evidence has arrived. For example, if your desire is to be a widely respected author, you must adopt the identity of one now by establishing a disciplined, non-negotiable writing practice. If you want to be a serenely wealthy individual, you must start managing the money you have now with the same respect and intelligence you would manage millions. You are calling as the person you intend to become. This alignment of identity sends the most powerful and coherent signal of all to the universe, declaring, I am ready. I am no longer just calling for this reality. I am calling from this reality. You have now achieved a profound and empowering level of clarity, a prerequisite for any successful act of creation. You have cleared your energetic signal of debilitating static, and you have identified the precise energetic phone number of your desired reality by defining the what, the why, and the who. You are standing before the cosmic telephone, receiver in hand, fully prepared to connect. But how exactly do you place this momentous call? What is the specific technique, the sacred art of actually dialing the number that initiates the connection and sets the powerful unseen forces of the universe into motion on your behalf? Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 3. The Art of Dialing the Number. You have arrived at a pivotal and exciting moment on your creative journey. You have completed all the essential and rigorous preparatory work. You have found your place of perfect reception, meticulously clearing your energetic line of the debilitating static of doubt, fear, and disbelief. You hold in your mind's eye the exact, specific, and multisensory phone number of the reality you wish to create. You are standing before the cosmic telephone, the direct line to the universal switchboard of all potential, with the receiver in your hand, fully prepared to make the connection. Now comes the moment of truth, the culminating action for which you have been preparing, the act of actually dialing the number. How is this sacred act performed? Do you just quickly, casually, and mechanically punch in the digits while your mind is distracted and simply hope for the best? Or is there a specific methodology, a rhythm, a deep focus, and a sacred intention that ensures a clean, powerful, and successful connection every single time? This is the very point where many well-intentioned and aspiring creators falter. They do all the intellectual prep work of clarifying their desires, but they fail at the crucial, energetic moment of dialing. They might think about their desire, but they do so mechanically, like a chore, without any real feeling or focused presence. They might make their request from a place of deep desperation or psychic neediness, an energy which taints the signal and broadcasts a message of lack rather than a message of faith. Or, perhaps most commonly, they might try to dial the number once, not get an immediate, miraculous answer, and then slam the phone down in frustration, concluding that the entire system is broken. They treat the sacred act of asking as a simple one-time mundane action, rather than the focused, powerful, energetic ritual that it truly is. This is the energetic equivalent of trying to dial a crucial phone number with shaky, fumbling hands. You are far more likely to press the wrong buttons, connect to the wrong line, or fail to make any connection at all. The transformative solution, the key to ensuring your call gets through every time, is to learn and consistently practice the art of sacred dialing. You must elevate your understanding and approach this act not as a casual request, but as a focused and powerful ritual of pure creation. It is the specific, designated moment in time when you consciously and deliberately project your clear, detailed, and emotionally energized intention into the quantum field, the universal field from which all things manifest. This is not a mundane task to be performed while you are distracted by other things. It is a peak creative act that deserves your full presence, your reverence, and your unwavering focus. Mastering this art means learning to dial with a potent and harmonious combination of focused intention, elevated emotion, and profound, unwavering trust. When you learn to dial in this sacred and deliberate way, you guarantee that your call connects cleanly, powerfully, and directly to the universal switchboard of creation, thereby setting the entire process of physical manifestation into immediate and unstoppable motion. The first principle of this sacred art is to treat the act of asking as a formal ritual of intention. You would never make the most important business presentation of your life while standing in a noisy, crowded, and chaotic environment. You would prepare and you would seek out a quiet, private, and professional space where you could focus completely. You must afford your communication with the universe this same profound level of respect and importance. The practice, therefore, is to create your own personal connection ritual. This means setting aside a specific, non-negotiable, and dedicated time and space each day that is reserved solely for the purpose of making your call. It does not need to be an elaborate or lengthy ritual. 5 to 10 minutes of focused time is far more powerful than an hour of distracted time. You might choose to perform your ritual first thing in the morning before the world's distractions can intrude, or last thing at night to program your subconscious mind as you sleep. You can create a sacred atmosphere by lighting a candle, burning incense, playing a specific piece of calming instrumental music, or simply sitting in a favorite chair in a quiet corner of your home. This consistent ritual does something incredibly powerful. It trains your subconscious mind and signals to the wider universe that what you are about to do is important, deliberate, sacred, and focused. During this ritual, you will bring your specific multisensory desire, the energetic phone number you so carefully clarified in the previous chapter, into the forefront of your mind with absolute, unwavering, single-pointed focus. This ritual creates the sacred container for the magic of creation to happen. The second, and arguably most vital principle, is that you must dial with emotion. You do not just mentally think of the numbers on the keypad, you must feel them with every cell and fiber of your being. The emotional energy you are able to generate is the actual electrical current that makes the call go through and establishes the connection. The practice for this is called feeling it real. As you sit in your sacred connection ritual, holding the clear image of your desire in your mind, your primary task is to generate the powerful, elevated emotion of your wish already being fulfilled. This is the absolute core of the dialing process. Use the detailed 5 senses blueprint you created. Do not just watch the movie of your success. Step into the movie and become its star. Feel the profound joy of the achievement. Feel the deep and abiding relief of the financial security you now possess. Feel the unconditional love and connection of the ideal partnership you are now in. Generate this chosen feeling so intensely and so vividly that your physical body begins to respond as if it were actually happening. You might feel a pleasant warmth spread through your chest. A genuine smile might naturally appear on your face, or you might even find tears of pure gratitude welling up in your eyes. This physiological response is your confirmation that you are doing it correctly. You are dialing not from the needy, wanting energy of your current circumstances, but from the powerful, grateful, and already possessed energy of your future reality. This elevated emotion is what carries your signal across the cosmic telephone lines and forges the powerful magnetic connection. The third and final principle in the art of sacred dialing is the crucial and often misunderstood dial and release technique. Think once more about making a real phone call. After you have deliberately and carefully pressed the last digit, what do? You take your finger off the keypad. You release. You place your trust in the vast, invisible telecommunication system to do its job and connect your call. You do not stand there frantically and repeatedly pressing the buttons over and over again, as this would only serve to cancel the call. The same profound wisdom applies to your energetic calls. After you have completed your focused connection ritual, after you have generated the powerful feeling of the wish fulfilled, you must consciously and deliberately let it go. The practice is sacred surrender. Clinging tightly to your desire, obsessing over it, and constantly worrying about how and when it will manifest is the energetic equivalent of constantly redialing and hanging up the phone. This behavior demonstrates a profound lack of trust in the universal system, and this doubtful, anxious energy will disrupt the very connection you just worked so hard to create. The art of dialing must, by definition, include the art of releasing. At the end of your ritual, you can create a simple mental or verbal cue to signal this sacred act of release. You might say, "The call has been made, my work is done, I trust the connection." You then consciously turn your attention to the rest of your day, carrying the beautiful feeling of gratitude and joy with you, but releasing the desperate need to micromanage or control the outcome. This act of surrender is not passive or weak. It is an act of supreme faith and power. You have now mastered the complete and sacred process of making a powerful and effective call to the universe. You possess a clear signal, a specific number, and you have learned the art of dialing with intention, emotion, and profound trust. The call has been made, the line is ringing, the connection is being established. But what happens in the crucial moments, hours, and days that follow? What is the proper etiquette for this divine conversation? How do you avoid the powerful human temptation to hang up the phone out of impatience, fear, or a moment of doubt? What is the secret to staying on the line with unwavering faith, keeping the connection open and clear until your call is finally and joyfully answered? Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 4. How to Stay on the Line. You have made the call. You have done the sacred and powerful work of clearing your signal, identifying the precise number for your desire, and dialing it with focused intention and elevated emotion. You have released your request with trust, and you know, on a deep level, that the connection has been made. But what happens now in the moments, hours, and days that follow? What is the proper etiquette for this divine conversation while you wait for the universe to answer? Imagine you have just dialed the number for a life-altering opportunity, and you can hear the faint, distant sound of it ringing. This is the crucial waiting period, the space between your asking and the universe's response. It is in this very space that most people lose the connection. Out of impatience, they begin to doubt whether they dialed the right number. Out of fear, they wonder if anyone is even there to answer. They start anxiously checking for results, and when they do not see them immediately, they hang up the phone in a state of frustration and disbelief. They convince themselves the system is broken. This act of hanging up is a vibrational one. It is the moment your faith wavers and you drop back into the low-frequency static of doubt, worry, and impatience. This anxious, needy energy effectively severs the clear line you worked so hard to establish, and your call goes unanswered, not because it was not heard, but because you did not have the faith to stay on the line. The transformative solution is to master the art of active expectancy. This is not a state of passive, helpless waiting. It is a powerful, dynamic, and joyful state of being. Active expectancy is the ability to maintain a calm, confident, and joyful certainty that your requested good is on its way to you, even in the complete absence of any external, physical evidence. It is the unshakable inner knowing that your call is ringing and that it will be answered at the perfect moment. To grasp this feeling, think back to the pure, excited anticipation a young child feels on the evening before their birthday or a major holiday. They do not know precisely what presents they will receive or exactly how the day will unfold, but they are buzzing with an absolute joyful certainty that wonderful things are coming their way. They are not anxious or doubtful. They are actively and joyfully expecting a wonderful experience. This is the exact emotional state you must learn to cultivate after you have made your call to the universe. It is a state of profound trust in the unseen, a faith so deep and so complete that it generates a feeling of peace, joy, and excitement in your present moment. Mastering the art of active expectancy is what keeps the phone line open, bridging the gap between your asking and the universe's answering, and it is the key to maintaining your connection until the call is joyfully received. The first principle of mastering this state is to practice living in the knowing. This is the conscious and deliberate choice to cultivate an absolute faith that your request has already been granted on the energetic plane and that its physical manifestation is now simply a matter of divine timing. To do this, You must shift your dominant energetic posture from one of asking to one of receiving and appreciating. The most powerful tool for this shift is a daily thank you in advance practice. Instead of repeating your request over and over, which only reinforces a feeling of lack and impatience, you begin each day by expressing sincere gratitude for the inevitable arrival of your desire. For instance, if your call was for a new and fulfilling career, you would start your day by saying, either aloud or in a journal, "Thank you so much for the perfect, soul-aligned career that is now making its way to me. I am so grateful for the sense of purpose, creativity, and abundance it brings into my life." This practice does something truly remarkable to your energy. It shifts your vibrational state from the future tense energy of wanting to the present tense energy of having. You are aligning yourself with the feeling of the wish already fulfilled, which is the most powerful magnet for its physical appearance. This is not about pretending or being delusional. It is about demonstrating your unwavering faith through the potent and creative act of premature gratitude. You are holding the line by acting as if the call has already been answered. The second principle is to learn to follow the inspired breadcrumbs. Active expectancy is not about sitting on your couch, doing nothing, and waiting for a delivery. It is an active state. However, the action it requires is not the desperate, forceful, or anxious action born of fear. It is inspired, intuitive, and often joyful action born of trust. While you are holding this state of confident faith, the universe will begin to send you a trail of energetic breadcrumbs, small intuitive nudges, creative ideas, and synchronistic impulses. Your job is not to see the entire path ahead or to understand the logic behind each step. Your only job is to have the faith to follow the very next breadcrumb that appears before you. For example, you have made the call for the financial resources to start a new business. You are holding the feeling of being a successful founder. One afternoon, you suddenly get a strong, inexplicable urge to go to the local library and browse a section you never look at. The logical mind might dismiss this as a silly distraction, but the person practicing active expectancy recognizes this as a potential breadcrumb from the universe. They trust the nudge and follow it without needing to know why. At the library, they might stumble upon a book on grant writing that leads them to an obscure funding source perfect for their business. Or they might bump into an old acquaintance who happens to be looking to invest in a new startup. The how is not their concern. Their only job is to trust the inspired impulse and take the next small and often effortless step. This is how you begin to co-create with the universe, by trusting its gentle moment-to-moment guidance and staying in responsive action. The third and final principle is the profound art of detachment from the how and when. This is often the most challenging aspect of active expectancy for the logical human mind, but it is also the most liberating and powerful. You must come to a deep and unshakable understanding of the divine division of labor. Your job is to be crystal clear on the what, your specific desire, and the why, the core feeling you wish to experience. The universe's job is to orchestrate the how, the when, and the who. When you become obsessed with trying to figure out how your desire will come to you, or when it will arrive, you are stepping out of your designated role and trying to do the universe's job. This attempt to control the logistics and the timing creates immense resistance, anxiety, and doubt, which in turn slows down or severs the connection. You must learn to surrender the details. A powerful tool for this is the release ritual. Whenever you find yourself feeling anxious, impatient, or trying to force a particular outcome, take a moment to perform this simple symbolic ritual. Write your core desire on a small piece of paper. Hold it in your hands and say aloud, "I have made my call with clarity and faith. I now release the how and the when to divine intelligence, trusting that this will unfold in the perfect way and at the perfect time for the highest good of all." Then, in a safe manner, you can burn the paper, allowing the smoke to carry your intention upward, or you can tear it into small pieces and release it into a moving body of water, symbolizing your conscious choice to let go and trust the current. This physical act signals your surrender and places your faith completely in a power greater than your own. You have now learned how to gracefully and powerfully navigate the crucial waiting period. You know how to stay on the line not with anxiety, but with an active, joyful faith. But what happens next? What happens when the universe, having received your clear and faithful call, begins to call you back? What if the answer arrives in a form you do not recognize? What if the abundance you asked for is ringing on your line right now, but you refuse to answer because the caller ID does not look exactly like you imagined it would? The next step on our journey is to develop the divine wisdom to recognize when the universe is calling you. Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula. Give this video a like and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 5. Recognizing when the universe is calling. Imagine you have called a friend and asked them to help you build your dream house. You have a clear vision, and you wait in faithful expectation. A few days later, a large, unmarked truck pulls up to your home. The driver unloads a massive pile of high-quality lumber, a pallet of bricks, a set of architectural blueprints, and a collection of professional-grade power tools, leaving them neatly on your front lawn before driving away. But because you were so busy staring out the window, expecting to see your friend arrive with a fully built, move-in-ready mansion on the back of a flatbed truck, you perceive this incredible delivery not as the answer to your call, but as a pile of messy, inconvenient junk. You completely miss the gift. This metaphor perfectly illustrates one of the most common and subtle ways we fail to receive our good. We suffer from a form of spiritual tunnel vision, or destination fixation. We make our call to the universe, but then we create a hyper-specific, rigid, and inflexible mental image of what the answer must look like, how it must arrive, and when it must get here. This narrow-minded expectation causes us to completely overlook the constant stream of opportunities, resources, answers, and support that the universe is delivering to us in creative, elegant, and often unexpected forms. We are so busy scanning the horizon for the finished product that we fail to see the priceless raw ingredients being placed right at our feet. We let the universe's calls go to voicemail because the caller ID doesn't match the one number we were expecting. The transformative solution is to consciously develop the profound skill of expansive recognition. This is the practice of intentionally and dramatically broadening your definition of what an answer looks like. It is about retraining your perception to see and acknowledge abundance not just as a final destination, but as the entire journey, including the stepping stones, the raw materials, and the helpful detours along the way. You must graduate from seeing wealth as just money and begin to recognize it as a sudden influx of creative ideas, a saving of your precious time, a strengthening of your physical energy, a chance meeting with a helpful person, or a valuable lesson learned from a setback. It is about deeply understanding that the universe, in its infinite wisdom and efficiency, often delivers the ingredients for your desire, not the fully pre-packaged meal. It provides you with the tools, the materials, and the opportunities to co-create your dream, inviting you to be an active participant in your own rescue. When you learn to see the world through the lens of expansive recognition, your entire reality shifts. You move from a state of feeling like you are waiting for a rare, miraculous event to a state of realizing that you are swimming in a constant, ever-present ocean of divine support. You begin to see that the universe is not ignoring your calls. It has been calling you back all along, but you simply lacked the awareness to recognize its number. The first principle of expansive recognition is to actively redefine your currency. You must break the deeply ingrained societal habit of equating abundance and answered prayers solely with money. Money is just one form of currency, one channel through which the universe can deliver its support. To do this, you will implement the 4 currencies daily acknowledgement. At the end of each day, take a few minutes with a journal to consciously recognize the abundance you received in 4 key, non-monetary currencies. The first currency is time. Did a meeting get canceled unexpectedly, giving you a precious free hour to work on your passion project? Did you find a clever shortcut that saved you 30 minutes on your commute? Acknowledge this as a direct deposit of time wealth from the universe. The second currency is ideas and inspiration. Did you have a sudden aha moment that solved a problem you had been struggling with for weeks? Did you overhear a conversation that sparked a brilliant new business idea? This is a deposit of priceless intellectual wealth. The third currency is connections and relationships. Did an old friend reach out of the blue with an encouraging word? Did a stranger in a coffee shop offer a kind smile? Did someone offer you help or advice? This is a deposit of invaluable relational wealth. The fourth currency is well-being. Did you get a deeply restorative night's sleep? Did you have a moment of profound peace and calm during a stressful day? Did you feel strong and energetic in your body? This is a deposit of essential physical and spiritual wealth. By consciously tracking these four currencies every day, you train your brain to recognize that you are already living in a state of immense prosperity, which in turn creates the vibrational state that attracts even more, including the financial kind. The second principle is to learn to recognize the stepping stones. The universe rarely delivers your ultimate grand desire in a single dramatic leap. More often, it provides a logical and elegant series of stepping stones, each one perfectly designed to lead you to the next, building your skills and confidence along the way. Your job is to have the wisdom to recognize and the courage to gratefully step on each one, even if it does not look like your final destination. For example, let's say your divine ask is for a career as a highly paid motivational speaker, speaking on stages to thousands of people. You make your call with clarity and passion. A week later, your friend asks if you would be willing to give a small, unpaid 5-minute talk at a local community meeting of only 15 people. The ego-driven, destination-fixated mind would see this as an insult. This isn't a stadium of thousands. This is a waste of my time, it would declare, and would likely reject the offer. The person practicing expansive recognition, however, would immediately see this for what it is, a perfect, divinely delivered stepping stone. They would recognize that this small, unimportant talk is a priceless, risk-free opportunity to practice their skills, hone their message, overcome their stage fright, and get valuable feedback. They understand that accepting this stepping stone is an essential part of the journey to the larger stage. They gratefully accept the opportunity, knowing it is the universe calling them forward. The third principle is to learn to bless the unexpected, which means having the wisdom to find the gift even in situations that initially appear to be problems, setbacks, or detours. Abundance and divine guidance often arrive in disguise. They can show up wrapped in a package that looks like a challenge or a failure. To develop this advanced skill, you must practice the "what is the gift here" reframe. Whenever something unexpected or seemingly negative occurs in your life, a project fails, a plan gets delayed, you get a flat tire, your first response must be to pause the automatic human reaction of frustration, anger, or fear. Take a deep breath, and then ask with genuine open-minded curiosity, "Okay, I trust that everything is happening for my highest good. What is the hidden opportunity or lesson in this situation? How is this unexpected event secretly serving me and my divine ask?" For example, you are laid off from a job you thought was secure. The initial appearance is one of devastating failure and lack. But by applying the reframe, you ask, "What is the gift here?" Perhaps this job loss is the universe's way of finally pushing you to start the business you've been dreaming about for years. Perhaps the severance package provides the seed money you needed. The problem was actually the universe's way of clearing a path for an even greater good. By learning to look for the gift in every circumstance, you develop an unshakable faith that the universe is always on your side, always calling you toward your best life, even when the call comes from a number you do not recognize. You now see the world with new, expanded eyes, capable of recognizing the constant, multifaceted flow of universal support in all its forms. You have learned to make the call, to stay on the line with faith, and now to recognize the universe when it calls you back. There is one final, joyful, and culminating step in this divine conversation. It is the art of gracefully and powerfully answering the call. What does it take to say a full-bodied yes to your new reality, to step across the threshold into your manifested desire, and to fully and joyfully embody the person you have been called to become. Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 6. The Joy of Answering Your Call. Imagine you have been waiting for a life-changing phone call for weeks. You have done everything right. You have made your intention clear, you have kept the line open with faith, and you have learned to recognize the universe's specific ringtone. Finally, the moment arrives. The phone rings and the caller ID displays the name of your biggest dream. Your heart pounds with a mixture of excitement and terror. This is it. This is the call that changes everything. But in that crucial moment, right before you answer, a wave of doubt washes over you. Am I ready for this? What if I'm not good enough? What if my life changes too much? What will people think? And so, paralyzed by fear of the very thing you asked for, you let the phone ring and ring until it finally goes to voicemail. You miss your call. This is the final and most subtle hurdle on the path to manifestation. It is the profound challenge of actually being willing to answer the call when it comes. We spend so much time and energy asking for a new reality, but when it finally presents itself, we often hesitate. The fear of the unknown can be more powerful than the desire for the new. The comfort of our current limitations can feel safer than the exhilarating exposure of our true potential. Answering the call requires us to let go of our old identity, our old stories, and our old excuses. It requires us to step into a bigger version of ourselves, and this final step can be the most intimidating of all. The transformative solution, the final and most joyful act in our divine conversation, is to learn to answer your call with a full-bodied, courageous, and immediate yes. This is the culmination of all your inner work. It is the moment you move from being a student of creation to a master of it. Answering the call is more than just accepting a gift. It is the act of consciously and joyfully stepping across the threshold into your new reality. It is about having the courage to hang up the phone on your old life and your old self, and to fully embrace the new identity that your answered prayer has made possible. This final act requires you to overcome the imposter syndrome, that feeling that you are not really worthy or ready for your own success. It requires you to trust that if the universe has called you to this new level of being, it is because